Hello, beautiful people and fellow whiners, and welcome back to another episode of A Little Something to Whine About with myself, Chevaun Camille,
and A Michelle,
where we whine, WINE, about life, personal growth, relationships, and more, because sometimes you just need to whine a little. So grab a glass of your favorite red, white, or rosé and join us on the couch. And if you are listening to this in the car, please do not drink and drive.
No drinking, no driving. Say no to the DUI. How about that?
You don't want that ticket.
Look, you don't want those problems.
You don't want those problems.
You don't want those problems. Okay, my little ratchet came out a little bit, but we don't want you to have those problems either. You know, how does it sound to get pulled over, ma'am? You know I stopped you. Well,
right. Like
I was listening to this podcast. Got a little something. What about
Yeah, don't point them in
alcohol on your breath.
Don't. Do not point them in this direction. Okay. So today's episode, we will be whining about fitness.
Yes, and we will be doing all the wines today. I mean, when I say all the wines, I mean the crying wines, the sipping wines, the wines, the wine in your wrist, wine in your waist, whatever wine you got, you can do it. When we're talking about fitness, because fitness is one of those subjects, it makes you want to get a glass of wine, okay?
Or to break down crying and whine. You want to whine when people start talking about fitness. That's a trigger. It's a trigger for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but it's a trigger.
Look, and hey, I'm gonna tell you, for a while it was mine. Me and fitness have been on a we have a very the new word, well, not new, the word toxic relationship. Me and fitness have a very toxic relationship. We have a love-hate thing going on, you know. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. Sometimes it does me well, sometimes I'll be like, why am I doing this? This is stupid.
It's a little dysfunctional. We're a little dysfunctional. Dysfunctional in a relationship.
So while we talk about this wine, what wine are you sipping on today, Chevaun?
I am sipping on a Pinot Noir. So for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we never sip the same thing. We don't even sip the same red, white, or rosé. Like we all over the place. But today we both decided, in honor of the journey to fitness, this episode, and the fact that if you look it up, Pinot Noir is like the healthiest of the wines. We are both doing a Pinot Noir. So mine is from a brand called Devil's Corner out of Tasmania, Australia. It was recommended to me by the woman at the liquor store that I go to. I told her I needed a Pinot Noir and I wasn't trying to break the bank, but it needed to be good. And she gave me 3 recommendations and I went with the Australian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know if I ask anybody in my liquor store, they're going to be like, the Noirs, they in this out. That's what they're going to say. Pick one. Not in that type of neighborhood where at least the people behind the counter, and not to judge a book by its cover, but I am. Nope. That conversation, I literally saw in my head going absolutely nowhere. So I had to do this on my own. So what did I do? I went, the Pinot Noir that I chose, the label is really, really kind of sleek, modern looking, and it has a J on it. It's from Jade Vineyards and Winery in Santa Barbara County.
So that's California.
Yeah, that. It is a 2018 Pinot Noir. And it has this nice golden J on it. I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram for those who want to see what the bottle actually looks like. I thought it was cute. My daughter's name is Jayla, so there you go. This is another wine that I have never, ever, ever in my life tasted before. So here we go again, popping cherries. Or grapes.
or grapes. Because this is a wine podcast, guys, or grapes.
Okay, so I'm nervous. Like I feel like I want to taste this, but my hands are going, come back. My hands are playing the yo-yo right now. They're like, do we?
And you know what? Speaking of yo-yos,
Oh
so
God.
fitness, right? I feel like that's usually how it starts is people do that yo-yo diet. And like I feel like that's usually most people's intro. You go one day, look in the mirror and go, this isn't what I want to be and who I want to be, or I was better than this. You know what I mean? Especially if like you were once healthy.
Right. Well, for me, I did the yo-yo thing too. I did the yo-yo thing for a long time. I did the yo-yo thing where, especially when I was younger and I was modeling like heavy, I would go up, I would come down. I would go up, I would come down. And I just figured, oh, that's just me. That's my body type. That's what I'm doing. I was dancing, still doing, we was out there getting our things in, workouts and all, a little here and now and then, but dancing was real heavy. And then I want to say like around 28 for me, I was like, yeah, so I knew I was gaining weight, but I didn't know I was gaining weight. So I went and I started working out to the point where I was actually going to the gym twice a day. I was doing 2 a days. And I lost some weight and I was fine. I was happy. And then 30 came. I feel like when I hit 30, my metabolism said, okay, we quit. Just left. I was like, what is this about? Hold up, what's going on? So I tried to do the same thing where I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a little workout because 30, I started dating my husband. Well, 29 into 30 because we got married on my birthday. So I was going to the gym with my husband. My husband saw me coming down. I didn't at the time, that whole thing. People see it before you do. Didn't pay attention to that, didn't care. I needed to see it. I don't care about anybody else. That was my mentality. So I was like, okay, whatever. I ain't trying to impress nobody. Fast forward to, I want to say about, what are we in, 2021? 2020. Even before then, I still started going to the gym, stopped. I tried little things. Oh, try these pills, try that pill, do this, do that. I mean, and some of them got a couple things off. But see, anybody who knows, I'm not one to take pills.
Me neither.
So that's why birth control was never my friend until I want to say about this last year or so. I cannot stand taking pills. So the pill thing, I knew it wasn't going to work for me. I don't drink everything. It was a lot. So I just knew a whole bunch of this, do it fast stuff. It wasn't going to work for me. Flat tummy tea, all that. Nope. None. It's not going to work. Don't put nothing in my tea. I like my tea regular. I don't, no mint, no nothing unless I'm sick. And then I only want a whole. What really sparked it for me, though, was last summer. I had on my neon, green, yellow, whatever, color bathing suit. And Rob took this picture of me. When I say I hate everything about that picture, it was at that moment I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. So I jumped on the scale still months later. Everybody hello, quarantine weight, Cool. I didn't feel like I really gained quarantine weight. I felt like I was pretty much still the same. And I could definitely be wrong, but that's just how I feel. I hopped on that scale and that motherfucker said 201. I said, who?
Right, yeah.
I said, you mean me? Like, Tae Michelle is what? You talk about somebody who I had a hard time gaining weight.
Yes, right.
Drop weight fast as a mug, but gaining weight was an issue for me. For me to see 201 on a scale that I'm standing on, like butterball naked, I have a problem. So it was at that moment. I was like, oh no, we got to take this the other way. But I knew my husband, who's a wonderful trainer, he has his own brand, Mind Right Fitness, like doing it up, been doing it from like day one. Me and him been together, been doing it, all that, right? I knew that Bama couldn't be my trainer. That was gonna cause relationship issues.
I mean, know your limits. Know your limits. Put your boundaries up.
Look, it is what it is. Some people might see it like, oh my God, no. But I mean, my husband and I, we had a conversation about it. He was in his feelings, rightfully so, a little bit. And it was one of those hard conversations for us. But I had to have it in order for me to move forward, because what I didn't want to do is take money out of the household when it's things that, you know what I'm saying, it's something that I could get done for
but
free.
by the same token, I know, like they say, for example, like doctors and medical people cannot work on their spouses, children, whatever. Like there's that line. I'm not saying y'all have that, but there is that line in the sand, like too close. How close is too close? Too close.
Hey, that was for me. That was a boundary line, because I know me. I don't know how to leave the gym at the gym. Mm-hmm. So, and me knowing me and my psyche, it was going to cause more issues than solutions. I was going to give up and say, F it, like legit. It was just one of those tough conversations to have. But we had it, and I joined the program that I am currently in. It's called Fit Church. I actually love it. And this young lady, her name is Carlise. I noticed her whole fitness journey, and she was taking pictures. I was like, girl, what are you doing? So when she, was like, hey, yeah, I'm doing Fit Church, and this is that and the other. And I was like, oh, and you know me, anything faith-based, I'm here for it to at least investigate, to see what's what, because everything that say church or Jesus ain't church or Jesus. So I was like, wait a minute, let me see. So the bonus part was I actually went to school at some point with Scott, who is the owner and trainer of the program. But my husband knew who he was as well. So that also created a level of comfort, and my husband was well aware of the program. And so it just kind of fit. And I said, okay, well, fine, let's give it a shot. And I joined it, went through orientation, and was like, oh no, I'm not gonna do this. Oh, this is stupid. You tell me I can't eat no bread? I can't have ketchup? I can't have no bacon? A protein shake? What the heck? What that look like? Those things are nasty. Like, automatically, orientation, I looked at my husband and was like, So we might just have to go through marriage counseling. Because I don't see this here happening. Not I, said the cat. But long story short, I went through orientation, and now I have just completed phase 2 out of, I think it's like 5 or 6 phases, but I think the requirement minimum is 3. But I just finished phase 2, and it's a 21-day program where you're like 21 days on hard meal plan, whole 9 yards. Then you get 7 days off before you start the next phase. So I have successfully completed phases 1 and 2 with a total loss of 18 pounds. I've lost more inches. I did not do my measurements for my inches, but if you go to my personal Instagram, you'll see the pictures. And that is when I really, really saw it. I put on some clothes that I had bought like prior to even starting this. I put them on, and I was in the middle of phase 1. And was like, oh, okay, I can stand to lose some more weight. I'm glad I did start to lose weight, because had I been at 200, I wouldn't even have got the outfits on. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, fine. This, inspiration clothes, woohoo. I put them on at the end of phase 2 and was like, oh, we about to have some fun. And at the same time, thinking about phase 3, like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
So yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at all. Like, My famous phrase, I guess, is nervously excited. I am extremely nervous about phase 3. Me and my emotions with this thing have been a little all over the place. Phase 1, I was hangry most of the time. I did find a protein shake that I like, though, so that's a good thing out of it. I've drank more water now than I ever have in my entire life. Sometimes I think I'm going to drown myself. But here I am in my off week and
still got the gallon.
I still got the gallon and I'm over
about halfway.
Yeah. So, I mean, yesterday I finished it plus some. So I'm just like, some life changes are happening slowly but surely in reference to things. It's off week. I've done workouts. I didn't do my workouts today, but I am going to do them before I go to bed. It's arms day 2 for me. So it's not as pressing as cardio. Yesterday was cardio and it was a struggle. Because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it at all. But that's part of my fitness thing. Me and my body have been at war with one another from just regular, aging to medical issues, because that's another thing that has happened, or I started to pay closer attention to in my 30s, from finding out that I have endometriosis and hormone imbalance and PCOS, both. Yes. And the combination of the two and how that plays into a part of me gaining weight and losing weight and things like that. So that was always a thing that played on my mental as well. How I'm gonna lose weight if I gotta take all this medicine. I don't like taking all this medicine. They say, oh, well, exercise more. Yeah, but when I exercise more, I blew up. Like my body would literally swell. I will say, it hasn't done that. But again, part of that is food. I'm figuring that out, And how how people tell you stuff and you be like, yeah, and but to actually see it sometimes is different. I do still have my days when I'm bloated and it's completely frustrating. Like last night I was like, oh, I did all this cardio. Let me jump on the scale before I get in the shower, which my trainer has specifically told me wait till the morning, but nah, I'm gonna do it now. Girl, I popped on that scale and was like, oh my God, get off. I got on the scale this morning and was like, because if it said what it said last night, girl, I was about to go crazy. Like, and that's why I say, I think the fitness thing for me is a whole lot more mental than physical. I say it's like a 40-60. Or maybe a foot, like it's not quite 50-50. It's there, but mentally it get me a little bit. Yeah, my brain does different things. I don't know. This is how God made me. My brain does a whole lot. You know how fitness is. Like, tell us what you've been doing.
So my journey to fitness was I was always kind of slim. Dance kept me slim from middle school. And I was dancing since I was 3. So middle school, high school, college, I was always working out because that was just me in dance. And dance to me, I did not consider as working out. Although in college, I started doing Saturday morning Pilates at the big not the student center, but the gym. And then I was doing running. I was trying to just do more cardio on the track. When I moved to Boston after I stayed home for a year. I moved back to New York for a year. Then I went to Boston. I was still dancing. I was still active. Even when I moved to Maryland, I was still kind of active in dance. I started teaching. So I wasn't doing it myself as much. I was teaching and I love teaching. Just put that out there. But I did that. And then one day, and I know what happened, but I one day was just like, I feel like I went through puberty part 2. That's why I tell everybody. Because, But no, you were around. You were there. And I don't doubt it. Somehow at 27, I went to Atlantic City. Slim, right? I got pictures to prove this, people. By December, when Michelle got married, I remember I was standing in the club. We did a little reception. And our other sister, who's a big booty Judy, hi Alexis. I was standing in front of her and she was like, I will never forget. She was like, whose butt is in my way? She was trying to watch the TV and looked at me and was like, oh, Chevaun. Right, because I had a little too, but it wasn't what it is, like what it was getting to be. What it definitely is what it is right now. But at that point, it was like coming, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what happened these past 5 months. I unknowingly, and because you see yourself every day, you don't see it, the gradual, especially if I don't take a lot of pictures. I don't. So I did not even see it.
I do, and I still ain't see it.
So I didn't see it from, so I didn't see it like at all. And then when Alexis was like, who butt in my way? And I was like, oh, did I get big? What is she? Because I mean, I always had a little toot, but this coming from a chick with a huge round donk back there. Okay. So if somebody with a huge ham hock on her back,
that's because she's a midget. You know,
but
most midgets got nice little backside. So I love you, sissy, but you a midget and you got a big boot.
But the point is that it's like if somebody you think is really pretty tells you you're pretty, you're like, oh,
right. Oh,
so someone with a big butt is like, your big booty was in my way. It's like, well, dang, has it gotten that out of control? Because it's just me. I'm not seeing this.
It wasn't out of control.
Right. But for me, it got, right. So that was 27. And I was like, okay. But I still was, I finally did look at myself, but I was like, I'm about 140. Like, I think that at that point, because I went to the doctor or something, I stepped on the scale. I was like, well, 140 is not bad. I'm still a nice little thick. Everything else health-wise was in control. What came about was 30. 30 for some reason is that age, man. I got on the scale one day and I was like, no, now something's got to change. And it was around my 30. It was a little before 30. It was when we went to zip lining in Shenandoah because you had to step on the scale. And I think at that point, I was around 150. And I was like, but I don't feel that. Like, I always go off feeling. I don't feel bad. So I'm cool. Like, I can carry my weight. I'm walking. Right. And because I was the type of person to gain weight proportionally, I don't think I saw it. I didn't get a big stomach. I didn't get all of that. Literally, all of me just went up in scale. Like, but it stayed the same. Even to the point where my best friend in high school, his grandfather saw me and he knew me as the dancer. And he was like, oh, saw me again 3 years later. And I knew I had gained some weight by that point. And he was like, you still look the same. Saw me again another 2 years later. You still got that same shape. Saw me again after that, like 5 years later. Oh, you still, because I grow proportionally. So I look relatively the same. But I knew, like, weight wise, well, at this point I've gained whatever. So mine came about where around 30, it started affecting my blood pressure because I would go to the doctor and now I'm like pre-hypertension. And the doctor was like, well, you got to lose weight. Now, again, easier said than done, because as you also get older, your lifestyle changes. I'm not dancing like I was. I don't have the time to work out because, and we talked about this last week, with commuting to work and all of this other stuff, the hour that I spend in the car or the 30 minutes I spend in the car to get to work, if I didn't have that, I could walk. That's what I've been doing now. So for me, it was, okay, I need to get this blood pressure down. So I have to lose weight because of that. It wasn't even a size wise. It was blood pressure number one.
It was a health reason.
It was a health. And then the other thing was, like you say, you stepped on that scale, was 200 to who? I stepped on the scale and I was 165. And I said, well, oh, no. Girl, I don't mind
165. I was like, oh, I'm thick. Ow. Like, I was cute. So I thought.
But and that brings us to another thing where thickness, the price of thickness. I know that in this culture and in this community and in this just America in general, and I was watching something about people getting lip fillers and butt implants, and this was a whole bunch of various races, right? So it's not even exclusive to anyone, but the price of thickness, because I remember being skinny and basically being told by males, I hesitate to call them men, that essentially I didn't have as much worth as the next chick who was thick because I was not thick. That most of my value, if you will, came because I had long hair. But you skinny. You kind of skinny. I don't really like skinny girls. Everybody wanted the chick that looked like a porn star, if you will. And I was not that. But I knew because of how my mom is. My mom was small. My mom thicker than a Snicker. My grandmother, thicker than a Snicker before she passed. Like, and the meds made her skinny. I knew it was coming. Like I was waiting, which is why when 27 hit and puberty part 2, as I call it, hit, and I thickened up, I saw this coming. What I did not anticipate was the weight. And honestly, boobs, as big and beautiful as they may be, booty as big and beautiful, thick thighs, is weight. And I'm not saying that you can't know that you're carrying it well, I will say. So for me, the weight getting to 165, I was like, oh no, because it's taking a toll on my blood pressure, because my lifestyle is lightly active, where at one point it was moderately active or intensely active when I was younger. My now lightly active lifestyle is not conducive to this weight because I'm not burning. I'm not moving enough to where my cardio is keeping up with this weight. And it's like, well, you 165, but you move. So you good. Your blood pressure isn't high. You're healthy, thick. I was not healthy thick. Being this thick does not make me healthy. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I have to drop this. And this was, I've been fortunate in that largely it doesn't take me a lot to drop weight. It doesn't take me a lot to drop extra weight. I think I started my personal fitness journey. So I am not on a program. I am on personal stuff because one, I'm just not gonna pay for that. I'm not. Two, I'm not a gym goer. I don't like the gym. Okay. Anybody who is
neither do I, but my program doesn't require the gym, which is another reason why I like it. Yeah.
But I'm just, anybody who knows me knows my thing has, since I was younger, has always been, I dance. Like if I'm gonna go to the gym, I would do group fitness because
girl, give me a dance class. I tell anybody, give me Zumba real quick. I will, because I remember at one point we were doing Zumba, me and my mom and I, a part of my up and down thing. My mom and I would go to Zumba class. I had dance practice on Thursdays. So Zumba class was on Tuesday and Thursdays. I didn't have a car at the time. So my mom would say, well, I'll drop you off at dance practice and I'll go to the Zumba class that's right down the street. So she was off at first just going on Thursdays. And she was telling me how much fun it was, how much she couldn't breathe, how much, she was getting her workout in and, the whole 9 yards. So I said, fine. Malachi had karate on Tuesdays. So we would take Malachi to karate and then we would go to Zumba class down the street. Cool. And at first I was like, oh my God, this is tiring. But after about a month into it, my mom was like, oh my goodness, you went from being back here with me, gasping for air, to looking like you're supposed to be up there giving instructions. And that was because I said, I'm in my zone, and now my body, and I did lose a whole lot of weight. My body, was like, oh, we're getting back into it. We're really dancing. So dancing for me has always been, if you go back to dancing, you'll drop weight real quick. So I never had to go to the gym.
And it's a matter of, with that, it's muscle memory.
Right.
Muscle memory kicks in and goes, oh, we're doing this again. Especially if you dance or whatever you're going back to doing, you did for a long time. If you are a power lifter in your teens and you stopped, but then you start power lifting again, your body's going to be like, oh, we doing that. Cool. I remember this. Dancing. I danced from 3 to 23, basically. So my body, when I was like, you know what, because I started taking Zumba classes, I did join a gym. I actually was going. I was good. When the gym was across the street from my job, I would just go there, and that was my lunch. But then they closed that one, moved it to somewhere else, and I would go, but not as frequently. I tried to do that as my Saturday mornings. But I need group fitness. So I was going to this thing called Brick Bodies, and you'll be surprised, Saturday morning, 8 a.m., but it was packed. Like you had to get there early. And that was how I would start my Saturday. And it was full body, legs, weights, all of this stuff. And I enjoyed that. But I think it was because I would focus on the music, because they would do stuff and it was choreographed to the beat. It was choreographed to the music. So after a while, I'm looking at it like a dance versus 18 reps of this and 16 reps of this and 45 of these, and then take 2 sets. And
yep.
I can't, like you, to me, it's mental in that way. I can't feel like I'm working out. I can't sit here and count, did I do 7? Did I do this? Do I do this? Because even with dancing and ballet, where you count and you're doing stuff in 8s, first of all, my count's not going to be like most workout counts, because most workout counts are 10, 5, 16. Like dance, everything is in an 8.
First of all, is in an 8. So I can tell you right now, it's so many times on other things, I'll be like, hold on, y'all. Okay, I need shush. And then I'm dyslexic too. So where dyslexia, we do numbers, but numbers can easily be switched around. So for me, it's like, hold up, y'all. Let my brain do what it does in reference to numbers. And for the longest time, I told anybody with Malachi, I swore he was going to be able to count past the number 8 because he was with me all the time. So all he heard was 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3. So I swore that's how my son was going to count. He didn't, but that's where we are. That's our nature, especially when you hear that growing when you're little, you're 5, 6 years old, and you literally hear that through your whole life. So I get you. I get the counting. Completely. So music is definitely needed, even with me being at home with this program. He's like, oh, you got to do 200 jumping jacks. Pause, y'all. I got to go get something because just not me sitting here going, 1, 2.
I'm going to get bored. And I'm going to stop counting. I'm going to lose count. I'm going to lose like, count.
Forget it.
Because I'm not counting like that. So I'm going to lose count. That's what's happened to me when I try to do stuff. I'm like, I lose count because I stop counting the number and I hear the music. So I'm like 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 2, 3, 4. Oh crap. What was that? Like, I don't. I'm counting
I have videos in my workout program because they put us in groups and we literally have to record ourselves doing our workouts. We have to pretty much record everything, which it's an accountability thing. And at first I was like, oh my God, this is stupid. But I appreciate it now. So now I'm like, hold on, y'all. I lost count. I'll be back. So I literally have to stop and go back and look at the video again. So I go, okay, I'm back. I know where I'm at. Because I'm telling you,
that's not how we count. Matter of fact, you're not realizing how many you're doing. Like when I started teaching dance, I was counting things out. I was basically updating a lot of the stuff that I did when I was a dancer. So for dégagés, for example, I was like, all right, there's 8 en croix, front side, back side, then 4, then 2, then a single. And I remember out of curiosity, and this, you know me, I like math. So out of curiosity, I was like, how many dégagés is this all together? I'm curious. On one side, we didn't even turn to get to the left side. We just talked on the right side. And at one point I did the math and it came up to, in one sequence, you were doing like 70 something. Like it was a ridiculous number on one side. And like within a 3-minute, because the songs are not longer than 3-4 minutes in a warm-up, in a 3 to 4 minute span. And I was like, yo, really? Like this is why my body was in shape, because I'm literally doing 100 without thinking I'm doing 100. It's like when you do the hundreds and you literally count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 2, 3. I'm not thinking about it because I'm counting an 8 and then the second 8 and the third 8 and the fourth 8 and the 28th 8. But I'm all my thing is doing is keep going 8. And I realized that when my mom too, because she used to dance, and she was talking about doing planks. She was doing plank holds, and she was like, she would do them for 60 seconds, but she couldn't count 1 to 60. She had to count 1 to 10 6 times. Mentally, it was a mental. She's like,
they got to a point, like even when fire workouts, I'll be like, sometimes just counting backwards helps. Like sometimes just literally, I'll be like, whew, that was 50. And then he'd be like, okay, I need to do 100. Let's stick with jumping jacks as an example. 100 jumping jacks. I will literally get to 50 and then start counting backwards, because as I'm hearing myself mentally, 30, 29, we almost there. You get excited. You're like, woo, I'm almost there. So it's truly a mental thing. However, I still hate burpees and caterpillars, and I'm gonna stick with that for the rest of my life. Okay?
I will forever hate a burpee. And I feel like part of that is because there's no good way to count a burpee. Okay. That's part of it. It's a 4-step movement. So by the time I'm like 1, 2, you feel all of that 8 before you get to 8. Let me tell you, if 8 is the basis, You feel all of that 8 before you get to 8. And it's a mess. It's a whole mess. I can't.
Girl, I feel like I would rather do burpees than caterpillars because caterpillars are so slow. Like you can't speed through a caterpillar. You can kind of speed through a burpee as long as you have some type of breath
and form.
And will definitely form. Otherwise, you will fall on your face, and I'm gonna laugh. Even if it's me, I'm gonna laugh. I mean, I done broke some stuff doing burpees. Like I broke a whole plate. Like, oops, like the whole thing. But a caterpillar, oh my goodness! And then this man added a push-up at the end. I said, "Why would you do that? What did I do? I've been eating right. I have been doing everything I asked you to
do. Why would you do that?
Why would you do this to me?" I felt like I was being put on punishment. Like I did nothing wrong. I have done nothing to deserve this.
I've done everything you asked of me.
Exactly.
Why would you do this?
God, you have forsaken me. Like, what's going on?
Ila Shabbatani. I'm sorry for anybody that knows me. Like that is my favorite thing to ever come out the Bible. I used to say that to my best friend out of nowhere, and she was like, "What? They should have never taught me that scripture." I will forever go to. I said that one time to we gonna do a whole church episode one day. We'll talk about it. But yes, that is like my favorite scripture.
I'm trying to tell you. But I mean, overall, like I said, I'm seeing results. I'm liking them. It be a struggle, but the funny thing is, during the 21 days, I be craving I be craving gummy bears.
All the stuff you can't eat. That's on the restricted list.
Everything. As soon as free week come, I crave nothing. Like I literally be like, I got a taste for, and my brain be like, nothing.
So my fitness plan for me is yoga. I do yoga twice a day, 30 minutes. I got an app, the Keep Yoga app. It's got flaws to it because the voiceover needs to be redone. Okay. And it's got problems. It's got flaws.
It doesn't sound like Siri.
It's not even that. It's that it'll repeat stuff. And breathe and bring your hands to prayer and breathe and bring your hands to prayer. And I know why. You could tell like they recorded little sections and then spliced them together so that whoever it was didn't have to record a bazillion times. But whoever their editor was
horrible.
Sir, madam, do better a little bit. Okay. But I do that every day. And that has been helping me. And that also helped me bring my blood pressure down. And part of the reason that my blood pressure was up was stress.
Yes.
And it was the stress of going from me and a dog in an apartment to me with my dog and my best friend and his 3 kids in his house. And that wine for another time. But stress is a big thing as well for health and fitness, especially with blood pressure. Like I say, my biggest motivator is blood pressure and health. But I have seen results. This is week 4 that I've been in this. Last year at some point, I think it was literally like a year ago, like in the spring, I was 165. I dropped down to 155 and it took me 2 months to do so. Then the summer happened. Okay. I don't really, the summer, people, fried food, funnel cakes, everything else. Let's act like you know. Act like you know.
Talking somebody who, I'm trying to tell you, before I go back, the only thing I do still have a craving for is some bomb fried fish. Outside of that, I'm good.
No, I need my summer. Okay. And so this year I was like, all right, I went to the doctor in the middle of April and my blood pressure was up and I was like, crap, that's right. That's why I was doing this. Cause you also forget motivation. And I actually had a really good app called Adam, which is actually about meditation, but they give you lessons for motivate. And they said like, one of the things they said was motivation fluctuates. So you got to find something else. And they were like having anchor habits. Theirs was for motivation, like have an anchor habit to remind you to meditate. So like for me, I do evening yoga at night. Was like after I do yoga at night, meditate. And this is that. But because meditation is not consistent. And so for me, I was 163 about 3 weeks ago. I'm now, this morning I was like 158.8 or 157 something. But I also ate I ate out this weekend. Like I went to Olive Garden and then I went to Outback. Not the best thing ever. But I've also downloaded another app. Again, because I don't have a program, I'm apping things, people. I'm apping.
Look, app it up. Look, this is my thing. Do it the way you can do it. I feel like so many people get caught up on the right way as far as programs, the right program, this program, that program. Because that's the one thing I will say. Since I have entered this program, Instagram has been feeding me the algorithms, all this workout stuff, and most of it I'm not even looking at. Like, I'm good with what I'm doing. I don't need everything under the sun. Sometimes you have to do what works for you. And if you find something that's working for you, if your method is, I can do this app for a while, I can do this app for a while, or this app gives me this and this, and I put it together and it works for you, and it's something that you can consistently do, and you're seeing results, by all means, do that. You know, I just know for me, I needed something like this to give me a kickstart. My first phase one, like you said, motivation changes. Phase one, my motivation was, you paid for this, so here you go. You better figure it out. By the end of phase one, I was like, okay, you lost 10 pounds. Cool. So that was my motivation for phase two. You paid for it. You did see some results. Stick with it. Okay, cool. And by the end of phase two, my motivation is, now you can fit these outfits. You can actually see results, because everyone else was telling me. Okay. But I will say sometimes, like, I just, like, even today I was not motivated to get out of the bed. I still have not done my workout for today, like my own workout for myself, with this being my off week. I am going to do it. But, like, you do have to find that thing to keep you motivated. So I'm glad you found the app that, you know, helped you with that, though.
And you have to be kind to yourself. Like, there was so much in that app, the Adam app, even though it's for meditation. And it was also informative. I got so much about just motivations in life. And one of the things that they said was, take bite-sized stuff and celebrate yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. And I know that's very hard for me, especially, you know, coming from dance. So I have my apps. I have my app that I track calories with, because I wasn't trying to do that. But it helps to see what I'm eating. I need to visually see, because I'm a visual person. So I need to see what I'm doing. And I think it's called Healthy Diet. But that's what I use, because it gives you a circle and how many calories you have for the day. And you can see the circle filling up. Now, sometimes I go over those calories. I ain't say I always follow them. But it's nice to see, okay, well, maybe I need
a guideline.
Maybe I need to run more than I need to jog around the block. But that's been my workout for me. It's been yoga, jogging around the block with Roman. That's the dog. And my own little 30 minutes things that I've thrown together that are based on music, because I need that. I need that musical motivation. That's what I need to work out.
Yeah. That's why I appreciate my husband. He bought us some Raycons, because, girl, when I say, we've been through every type of headphone that we can go through, but he bought us some Raycons. And when I say, with my little itty bitty ears, they fit in my ear, but they get loud. Like, they get loud to the point where I can literally block out everything. And for me, it allows me to get into my workout even more. Because I ain't going to tell you, yesterday, went to the gym, did 2.18 miles in 38 minutes. My goal is to do 3 miles in 38 minutes or less. Almost made it, not quite. Got some work to do. That's fine. Girl, I went and got on the elliptical after that. And one of my songs came on. I forgot I was on the elliptical. Like, completely forgot. Like, my husband came over there and was like, hey. I was like, oh, sorry, what's up? He was like, we get ready to leave. I didn't even realize I had literally done an hour worth of cardio.
So, what's your end goal with your fitness plan?
The fun thing is my husband just asked me that, and I don't have one. I want to be able to incorporate, especially like the meals, the strictness of the meals in my everyday life, with having the ability to, okay, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna eat what I want, but be under control. And that's one thing that I will say it has done. It has helped me from my midnight snacking, because I am a snacker at nighttime because I'm a night owl. So where everybody, when they're like, oh, after this, go to sleep, I'd be like, that's my prime time to be up. I'm up. What you mean? Now, I do have a range. Like, I don't have a specific weight, but I have a range that I would like to stay in between. And that's another reason why I'm like, I don't know. I just want my wave back to be gone. For those who don't know, the wave back for me is when you wave your hand and then your arm still shake. Yeah, it be waving back. You wave to people and they wave back to them. That's what I call. And for my stomach to be flat, I don't necessarily need abs. I didn't really have abs when I was small, like not visible abs. Like my stomach was just flat, and that's just ideally what I want. I mean, if I can get that at 170, I'm cool with that. It's just the look and to be able to wear my clothes the way I desire to wear them, not have to wear them a certain way because I have to wear them that way. Yeah, so I think that's just it, to normalize just being
healthy
healthier.
decisions.
Yeah, just being aware. And did you eat that today? You might not want to eat. Okay, eat some of it, not all of it. Like back a little bit. Are you really hungry, or could you just use a snack? Like something like that. Oh, did you eat today? Because that was me. Did I eat today? I don't know if I ate, but let me eat something, and it would be a donut.
Yeah, I think anybody's journey to fitness, I think the ultimate goal, definitely for me as well, I agree, is it's really like 5 things: to be healthier, whatever that means for you. Because again, if you had so not
pre-diagnosed,
pre-existing. Yes, there you go.
Okay. Because I was like, I don't know where you're going with this.
Is one to be healthier for you, whatever that means. Because if you have pre-existing conditions, that might limit you. Somebody who has diabetes versus someone who's got high blood pressure versus someone who has endometriosis. What does that mean? 2, I think the biggest thing for me with fitness, and I'm definitely not like a fitness guru, but I will say, I think goal is to be aware of portion sizes. I don't think that we are at all aware of that, especially American culture, just as eat, 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 eat. 3, along with that, being aware of portion sizes, be aware of what you're eating. I didn't realize until I did this and started calculating not only just the calories, but healthy diet puts in carbs, fat, protein, calcium, milligrams, sodium, all of that. I did not realize how much sodium I was intaking. And so I think, and how much fiber, and I wasn't. My iron is kind of okay, but I think be aware of that is the other thing. 4, I would say, is to be aware of movement. We are in such a sedentary culture, largely with everybody working from a desk or something, that it's important to remember you have to move. The biggest thing I think with diets, and I see these people, or I see all these diets that push just eating better and how you can lose 50 pounds without exercise. Why would you want to? Like, you still need to move. Your body needs to move, because even if you drop 50 pounds without exercising, that's a lot to put on your heart, honestly. And I know someone who died because of that. He lost.
There's plenty of people who've died, lost massive weight, and you like, oh yay, and then a month later they're not here no more.
So I really hope that people remember to exercise. And then I think the 5th thing for me is just self-awareness. I think we, as both of us said, it's a mental. And so knowing what your triggers are, what your motivations are, what gets you up to do it, what keeps you from doing it, and knowing that motivations are going to change, and trying to find, those little anchor habits, as Adam called them, the little app, meditation app. So yeah, I think those are the 5 things that I would say, to me, are probably the roots of most journeys to fitness, or like the end goal, I guess, for me would be those 5 things.
Yeah, definitely portion sizes, because that's the one thing. Nothing that I've been able to eat for the last month has been on a regular size plate. It's been a salsa plate, and sometimes it's half of a salsa plate. And at first, where that was something that I was like, oh my God, this is outrageous. Now, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is too much.
It's about retraining your body.
Yeah, just retraining. It's a whole shift. It's definitely an entire shift. And I feel like each person has to get to the point where they feel like, okay, I got to do something different.
And you're willing to make those sacrifices, and what that's going to take, and that lifestyle change. And that's what a lot of fitness people will tell you.
That lifestyle change is different. It looks different from the quote unquote norm.
And it's going to be uncomfortable.
Oh, very. Like, I'm sitting at a whole restaurant and I can only have a protein shake. That's uncomfortable. I literally have people, oh, well, I can eat. I don't have to go through that. That's not my problem. So you just be prepared. That's just be prepared for that shift. People are going to look at you differently. People are going to look at you weird. And then when they see the results, they go, oh.
Be prepared and committed, and make sure you're doing it for you and for the right reasons.
And that's it. As long as you're doing it for you solely, you will be okay. And don't worry, those closest to you, they will follow suit. Cheers.
And cheers to that.
Okay, so now that the glasses are empty, Chevaun, tell me about your wine. What are your final thoughts on that?
I've never had a Pinot Noir, and this was actually good. And I really don't like red, but this was actually good. And I did not realize that you're actually supposed to do it chilled. So it was actually, I had it warm, and we, as we all know.
Was it warm or was it room temperature? Because
it was room temperature. Okay. It was room temperature. And as we all know, I prefer chilled, like next to frozen, about to be a slushie. But this was actually good. So I think if I had it chilled, it would be something that I actually would drink on a regular. So props to the woman at the wine and spirit shop who recommended this to me. It is excellent. I will give this a 4.
Oh wow.
At room temperature, I would give it a 4.
I thought you was gonna give a 3. Wow.
It's a 3.5 at room temperature. So I'm gonna bump it to a 4 because I know that chilled then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm happy. I'm happy you found something that you like. Okay, I'm excited. Mine's it's actually, like you said, it's good. I do like dry wines. It wasn't as dry as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like super dry, but I've had drier Chardonnays. So, and Chardonnay is my business. So this Pinot Noir, I definitely like it. I enjoy it. I do feel, now I had tacos for dinner tonight, which it wasn't bad with, but I do feel this particular wine would be better with a steak, or something a little heavier. Maybe a nice hamburger. Mine was chilled. I did have it in the refrigerator before the whole recording and things like that, before the podcast. But it was really good. For me, I would go 3.75.
Okay.
3.75. Okay. Give it a strong 3.75. Maybe a 4 with a nice dish, like a healthy dish. But definitely pleased for a first time Pinot Noir drinker. I'm definitely excited about tasting some other brands and comparing the two.
Yeah, I don't remember what she had told me about this, because she gave me, there was one from Oregon, one from Germany, and this one. And the one from Germany, she said, was a little more aggressive, if you will. That's the word I'm using. And that the one from Oregon was more like a smoother introduction into a Pinot Noir, and this is somewhere in the middle. So I went with the one in the middle. But it wasn't. This was not dry. It was clean. It wasn't sweet. I guess it would fall under semi-sweet, like. And it was, that's what she said. It was going to be earthy. The German was really earthy. She said, this isn't as earthy. And that's the word I want. It's like a good blend of the red berries with a hint of earth. So not heavy on the earthiness.
Right.
I don't know what I would pair that with, to be honest with you. I have no idea. So
hey, it's a good exploring wine.
I'm sure
explore some things.
I'm sure that somebody would say some cheese. I'm sure there's a cheese that goes great with this.
I'm positive that there's a cheese that goes with Pinot Noir. I want to try a white Pinot Noir because that's something else that I learned, that they do have white ones. But that's another wine
for another time.
Okay. And at this point, we just want to thank you for joining us for another wonderful episode of A Little Something to Wine About with myself, Tae Michelle.
And Chevaun Camille.
And don't forget to subscribe and join us each and every Wednesday for more laughs, more fun, and of course, more wine. Next week, we have a very special episode. We will be wining in color, meaning you will get to see us on YouTube. We hope that you follow us on Instagram at A Little Something to Wine About, and that's A Little Something, the number 2, Wine About. And visit us at alittlesomethingtowineabout.com. We'd love to hear what you're thinking and what you're drinking. Let us know. What are some of your fitness goals? What are some of your fitness plans? What are you doing to create a healthy lifestyle for you? We love to hear those things from you. And remember, as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.